starting. Okay? Go ahead with what you're saying.
During the time of sealing the borders from Russia to Poland to Germany, in one of our traveling, it was too dangerous to, to seal the border, so we landed in an open area, somewhere in the field, and stayed in the tents for a few days
Right.
until the Haganah knew that it's clear and we can go. So in
This is before
before
you
we
went?
came, right?
Right.
Forgot to mention one episode, quite meaningful. So one of the ladies, one of the Jewish people that were together with us came to my tent crying. Her little baby, she was about 6, 7 months, was very sick. And they told her, somebody said that I'm a physician, that I may help. So luckily I had a sulfur at that time, so many years ago. It was like penicillin later. So I had this medicine and I went to her tent. Sure enough, the little baby was in a very bad state. She hardly could breathe, fever. So I gave her the medicine and I never heard from her then because we had to move to another border. And many years later, when we were in the United States, I received a photograph and a letter of the little baby that survived and how thankful they were.
Where did they, did you ever hear from them after that?
Not really, no.
But
That
that's,
was a
Find it out,
beautiful.
I don't remember.
I still have the picture somewhere.
that's a wonderful
A
story.
nice little girl, very well nourished, very well developed. Anyway, that's one vignette of the traveling and sealing the borders.
So now, in terms of babies, I had asked you if a lot of babies were born.
There were some babies born, yes, some marriages and some babies born.
Were
under
there-
very difficult conditions.
How different?
Well, we were stealing the people that I were, they were contemporary at my time. They were all illegally trying to leave one country and go to other countries, so it was difficult.
Was there a rabbi there?
I don't recall.
I mean, do you remember if there was bris, if there was a boy?
I don't recall.
That's okay.
Can I interject?
Sure.
When we got married, it was in Russia. There was no rabbis, no Jews, no people to marry us. So finally we found 3 Jewish people.
Yeah.
Then he put a ring on my finger and said a prayer, a brocha,
Yeah.
and that was our marriage.
Okay.
So this is a ring I wear for 64 years. Never came off my finger.
Oh,
Later on, when we came to German part of Germany, then we had a rabbi, and I think he said religious, but it was not a wedding.
okay. Now,
We had here.
what?
Yeah.
We were here when our 50th anniversary. Then we had a true wedding
Did you really?
with our children. Yeah, then it was
That's
a
great.
chuppah and a real true wedding at
Oh,
our
that's
50th
great.
wedding anniversary.
Okay. Were there? This might be you might remember, you might not. Did people inside? Now I'm not talking black market because I'll ask you about that. Inside the camp, were there jobs like you had a job?
There
Dentists, tailors, were people doing were people what were people doing in the camp?
all the people were there trying to pass the time, waiting for the visa to go to another country. Yes, there were some tailors that working in there. There were some people that working in the food distribution. Some people was helping me, some nurse or some medically oriented. I don't remember clearly if there were other
Okay.
professions, but
But
that's as far as it
Besides
goes.
besides people waiting, there was no pressure to do anything,
There
was
was
there?
no pressure. The only thing I remember, there was some black market.
Okay, now you,
Jewish people were traveling to Munich and to other, there was a lot of clocks or watches, I remember trading and all kind of other way to get some money when they would leave to other country.
what was your husband, how was your husband making money?
He was one of them, yeah.
So,
He was
who would they trade with? With Germans or with each other or?
with Germans, with probably a native people that lived there, maybe among themselves.
Okay. Were people in the camp relaxing, recovering, depressed, looking forward? Could you describe,
All of it, all of it.
well,
Some of them were depressed, some of them were looking forward, so always exchange their feelings with each other. There were some romantic encounters, meeting, and there was different feelings and interaction, different ways.
who were you friendly with in the camp? Did you, or let me put it different, did you make friends with other couples in the,